right, it seems that we are complete. Again, I want to welcome everybody here in this online session on KPI Visualization and Collaboration. Again, I hope you are all enjoying this morning, grabbed your coffee and are ready to go. Because today I'm going to lead you through a new experience on how to visualize KPIs and collaborate really data-based, as we are collaborative business intelligence and we are TrueChart. Who is TrueChart? How is TrueChart built? What is TrueChart? What can you expect by TrueChart? We are collaboration enablers for state-of-the-art BI software. We have more than 4 sites, or rather we have 5 sites in 4 countries. We consist out of more than 33 collaborative experts from 7 countries, so we're a global company. All in all, we have more than 7 years of experience in collaborative BI and visual integration. And basically our 2 business segments relate to collaborative expertise and software development. As our mission statement is to help revolutionize industries and solve data collaboration problems efficiently along the entire value chain. What does that mean? There's a challenge. There's a huge challenge in lots of companies today. As you all might know, and that's maybe the reason why you're here, data rules the world. But what many people and many organizations seem to forget is that the human factor is often underestimated, where human communication continues to be very important. And especially in business intelligence, miscommunication leads to significant inefficiencies and mistakes. What's the solution to that? The solution is collaborative business intelligence, existing or consisting out of the 3 key pillars: data point specific real-time communication to reduce the scope of interpretation, the standardization of data analysis and visualization to increase clarity and also improve data literacy, and also what we believe is the most important aspect is an API-driven integration into any OpenBI software, so cross-platform architecture to transcend the solution and also accelerate software market adoption. But what is our solution? Our solution, as I said, is based on the 3 key pillars: data point-specific real-time collaboration, standardized visualizations, and also enterprise readiness by being able to integrate to different front-end tools. Now let's take a look at data point-specific real-time collaboration first. What is the challenge here? The challenge is that communication about business performance in regards to KPIs is highly repetitive or sometimes lost between people, processes, and technologies. Existing collaboration solutions, they are either difficult to align with the data or they are not able to provide channels based on data at all. And as a last one, communication about results shown in BI tools is lost sometimes because not everyone has access or not everybody is part of the BI tool or the processes up to today. Now the solution for that is a direct integration of collaborative chat functions into the BI systems. Further, data-dependent collaboration channels should be accessed to provide secure content to anyone who is allowed to use the channel. Further, those collaborative channels should be accessible across BI systems. Now let's take a look at a common process in companies. And let's take a look on how to revolutionize the collaboration and decision process. How does it look today in lots of companies around the globe? Well, normally you would consume a report, you would get some insights, or you would anticipate some questions you have regarding the data. Then you would share a screenshot via mail, via Teams, via Zoom, or via Slack. You would get an answer via Teams, mail, Zoom, Slack, and basically that's the first problem, the first issue here. You're breaking the platform. You're creating an information silo. While you might be happy because your question was answered, your insight was fulfilled. So next step, you do you lose this information because you do not keep track anywhere within your systems on that. And you repeat that next season. Basically, you will lose a lot of time. You will lose lots of information all along the way. Now, an updated process, how we believe will be what we believe will be the future in collaborative business intelligence, starts the same way. You consume a report, some questions arise, you get some insights which you want to share, but now you step into the solution. You share the problem within the BI system. You get an answer within the BI system. You are happy. You materialize this insight, and you save time next season, leaving everybody being happy and able to save some time on the really important tasks you have. Now, what does data point specific real-time collaboration also mean? It means to keep track of the interpretations and also explanations by retaining and materializing every comment alongside the relevant data. You also integrate the communication where it really belongs. You reduce the scope of interpretation, enable knowledge workers to communicate where those insights are really valued most, and you're enriching automatically analytical results by delivering actionable insights. With TrueChart especially, you can add comments and explanations, add opinions and insights to numbers, create more comprehensible reports, and you can also use commenting and collaboration across platforms. I'm talking here about two products that are integratable into each other. I'm going to show you in a live demo later on how that looks in real life. But let's come to the second pillar of collaborative business intelligence first, standardized visualizations. Now, every time I'm starting with that, I'm asking a rhetorical question. How can people communicate successfully without speaking the same language? Now, what you can see on the left side is an orchestra. On the right side, you can see a notation, a music notation. And those of you who are either playing an instrument or were playing an instrument when they were young, maybe they can relate to that. I, for example, I played the drums earlier when I was young, and I played them not only in Germany, but I also played them in France and in South America, for example. And the cool thing about that is I understood the notation and I could play music not depending on where I was, because music notation is everywhere the same. It's standardized. So the answer to that question is by applying communication standards. If you're looking into companies, and maybe you've switched a company over the time of your career, every company around the globe has a different standard of communicating, of presenting and visualizing business-related data. There is no real standard. Like if you're playing in an orchestra, it wouldn't depend on if you're playing in South Africa, in South America, in China. It wouldn't depend on it because you would be able to understand the notation. It's a 100-year-old notation that every musician in the world can understand. Now, if you're looking at business communication, what is there? Most of the companies do not have anything, but there is a solution to that. The IBCS, the International Business Communication Standards. They are practical proposals for the design of reports to communicate clearly and truthfully. They standardize layout for financial reports, for example, or other business communication. They reduce the reporting time, improve comprehension, and also readability to ultimately support better decision-making. Now, if you take one thing out of this session, let me show you the first or the top 5 IBCS rules or proposals to make your reporting environment more clearly and increase the data literacy. First 2 rules and examples are to really have a standard when it comes to visualize time series, for example. So use horizontal orientation only for time series. Another rule that is really highly anticipated in the IBCS is to use different patterns for scenario types. So if you're looking at actual data, make it solid. If you're looking at forecast data, make it hatched. And if you're looking at plan data, or if you want to visualize plan data, just do it outlined. So everybody who will take a look or a first look at a dashboard or a report will immediately know what type of data you're talking or what type of data you're visualizing and want to show and get some insights on. Now, other rules are to use correct and consistent scaling. So no breaking of axes, no cutting of axes, just show the data how it really is. Also, another really important rule is to use standard titles for identification. So give your viewers of your report direct insight on which entity they are looking at, which KPIs they are visualizing, or they can take a look at, and in which time frame it is. Further, another thing is to use green and red colors for variances and for variances only. So no CI with red coloring should be an actual, for example. The IBCS are already adopted by many organizations worldwide. This is just a high-level overview of who's using IBCS in some way. And maybe to give you some more insights, what standards with IBCS and visualizations means, and also what TrueChart can actually apply and visualize are different chart types, for example, like time charts, structure charts, tables with inline visualizations, small multiples. It also enables you to use scenarios, and that all enterprise-wide. Just a quick excerpt. And what we want to do, and what TrueChart and also KPI Chat wants to improve, is the human-to-human collaboration and reporting. That all with all platforms, and that all always with IBCS in the background. Now, I've already talked about enterprise readiness, rather API-driven integration. To give you a better overview, what that means is we are enterprise ready because we have multi-tier support. We have a user to data authentication layer, and that all concluding with the top line of KPI Chat and TrueChart. I'm going to give you a live example, a live demo, what that really means and how that integrates into one another. I've talked about API-driven integration. At the moment, we support a full integration to Qlik, so Qlik Sense, Qlik View, Power BI, Excel, as well as JEDOX. But as we are as we are based, and we have based our TrueChart and our KPI Chat software on a core version, so we would potentially be able to integrate into any other OpenBI software that allows us to integrate by using our core functionalities to make sure that that's possible. Also from architectural point of view. Now I have talked a bit about what it is and what KPI visualization and collaboration resolves around. Let's take a look at a demo and give you a demo experience on how that could look like in real life. Now, what you can see right here is a example report, a demo report that you could also access via our website, www.truechart.com. There's a user portal. I highly invite you to register to that. And then you can go to demos and you will have access to this demo here. You can see here is our different products that we use to, and our customers and partners use to visualize KPIs, to collaborate really around data. And this here, in this overview, you're having a standardized P&L that you can see here on the left side, with, and on the right side in % of the revenue. And also here we have a time chart, all following the International Business Communication Standards. I talked about and told you that it's important to use horizontal orientation for time series only. We're doing that. We're also having a header notation that you can see right here. I've talked about scenario notation of actual forecast budget, for example. This all you can do with TrueChart. You can also depict the deltas in the right way, not depending on if you're in a table or if you're in a time chart. That's automatically visualized the right way, how you set that up. Now, I've talked about TrueChat, and you see TrueChat can visualize data in a quite standardized way, not taking up too much space, being really good in scaling. Now, what is KPI Chat? You can see on the right bottom here. That's a message, a message section and a channel section of KPI Chat. So we're in a channel of P&L results Q&A, and you can do live collaboration on that. I could write a message here, send that out, and anybody who's access will be either notified immediately, will be notified by mail, or who's looking at that will see that there's a new message. Now, what you can see right here is there are new messages within a table. Now, this is also KPI Chat, because KPI Chat, and that's where we come to integrating the products and the different sections into one another. With KPI Chat and TrueChat, you can also lead collaboration and start processes on an inline level. So if you have a question on revenue right here, like this user here had the question, why are we below forecast? We are actually below forecast. Now someone, this was me, answered the question that we are mid of January and the sales team is performing well in the drink section. In the next week, there will be 18K recognized from a new deal. So you can basically lead conversations either from a dashboard level or from an inline level. You can also do that right here. And this will be in real time. So you don't need to reload any report. You can lead collaboration processes real time. Another thing I was talking about was materializing those insights. Let's take a look again right here. So we are in mid of January, 18K will be recognized next week. Maybe let's materialize this comment. So you can always comment with TrueChat and KPI Chat on an inline level, or you could do that on a perspective level. Let's take it to the inline first. We can say mid-January, for example, 18K recognized next week. You can go here, okay. And this will be automatically stored and saved on an inline level. As you can see right here, this will not be only saved in the dashboard, but this will be written back to a database. Everything here is auditable because you will always have the information who wrote the comment, when was the comment written, or when was it altered, for example. So you could basically reuse this comment here in any other BI system. So if you're transporting your BI from Qlik to Power BI, for example, you could make use of that inline commenting and display the comments for Power BI as well. Now, the other section I was talking about is here our perspective commenting. What you can do with a perspective comment after adding it, you can add a comment right here, and you could pull a number onto it. So either you could let it stand like that as it is, or you could use a number, and we call that annotation. It also comes from an IBCS side. You could use this number and drag it anywhere to the different data points on your dashboard. Now, if you're finished, you could switch to the viewer mode and go on with exploring your data. Let's maybe switch our office country to Germany. And this is where database collaboration comes into play. If I'm clicking on Germany right here, all the comments and all the channels or channel chat messages will be gone. If I'm clicking on that, the data is filtering in the background, and also the collaboration piece and the communication piece will also be filtered in the background, making sure that only relevant data to the specific data point will be displayed. So as you can see right here, there's no message, nobody has touched the revenue here. You could start doing that again. What is the reason for the bad performance? It's a question. Now, any other user who's also in that channel could answer there, and he can not only answer from within the BI system, but he could also answer from the standard, from the KPI Chat Messenger. Now, if you're taking a look, we are here in the revenue section for January 2021, and the P&L Q&A. So P&L results Q&A. We are in Germany, basically, on the P&L line revenue, and for January 2021. What is the reason for the bad performance? Now, I could answer that. The sales team is underperforming due to the new year start. Now this, as you can see right here, it popped up automatically, real time. You do not have to reload in any case. So you can just go here, access this message, and thank Arnold Analyst for his insight on why the bad performance is happening right here on a revenue level. Now, this can start your collaboration processes and bind your collaboration processes directly where you really need it, where the data is really relevant. You can materialize the insights as you've seen, and you can lead collaboration processes and start those directly here. And always make sure that it's auditable. As you can see, it's auditable who wrote it, when he wrote it. And you could also say, I want to be notified for that. So if you set up a notification, you will get an email directly when someone types something in. You could also notify people with an @ sign, where you can use your different, for example, let's use me and directly type in a message, and I will be notified automatically. Now, this is one part, but data collaboration and real-time collaboration also resembles around what if else analysis, for example. So you can not only make use of real-time data collaboration on a top line level, discussing with the sales team, for example, but you could also do, for example, high-level planning tasks with it, making use of our different capabilities when it comes to commenting. You could also comment on different data types. For example, here we have a percentage, we have a number. So if you would switch that, and I would invite you to take a look at this here. This visualization actually doesn't make a lot of sense, but as you can see, I'm not reloading any data, but our real-time module makes sure that data is automatically updated in TrueChart and KPI Chat as soon as you put it in. So you do not need any reload. You do not need to reload the page or anything. You're good to go. You can type that in and speed up the processes from there. Now, another thing that we did, to give an example on how to visualize data with TrueChart, to make use of good KPI visualization, is our COVID-19 country dashboard. And I'll also invite you to take a look at that. We have that on our website or on our ClickSense Hub. You can access that also anytime. Also, this demo here, as I said in the beginning, this demo is available freely from our user portal. Just register, you can access that. Now, another thing, like here, for example, we started that with the COVID pandemic and Corona pandemic in the last year, just to give an option on how to visualize data a bit differently without using maps, because maps are not that well when it comes to data literacy. So we created our own dashboard, as you can see right here, comparing different countries. Like, for example, here I chose to focus on the country Germany because that's where I'm sitting in, to see the COVID cases per 100K population and the development over time. For example, we also tied the data to the median age, median wealth, and urban population, coming from a wealth report from Credit Suisse. And also, we are using the data from Johns Hopkins University. So be aware, we're also one day in lag because they have to schedule this and can only give out valid numbers. So I invite you also to take a look at that to see how you could also use TrueChart for visualizing medical data or this data right here, using different chart types, using KPI tiles, for example, that you can see right here with the delta logic, as you can see here. You could do focus groups and focus numbers to highlight what you want to, where you want to lay your focus on. Just I invite you to take a look at that. It's another perspective on the COVID cases all around the globe, because we not only have those countries, but you could choose within the different sections here. You could choose different countries you want to take a look at. So I invite you, choose your country, take a look at that, and feel free to play around with it a little bit. Now, you've seen how you could make use of KPI Chat. Another thing that I want to highlight is we also included, apart from notification, apart from data dependency, apart from the real-time and editing aspects, we also included a security measure there. This you can set up, so we call it data dependent security. What that means is that you can give access to only relevant persons. So if you say, hey, our sales team from the German region should only have the possibility to write messages and to communicate, to collaborate around Germany, you could filter that directly there. So they would not be able to, for example, see any data. That's the first thing coming from the BI tool, but they wouldn't be able to collaborate around data that is not in Germany, or that is, for example, another entity like Switzerland. I, in this case, have the possibility and the access to do that, but you could also exclude them. Further, we are working at the moment on different topics like automatic screenshot saving. This will allow you to take an automatic screenshot with every message you send, making sure that there is better auditability, and also for different areas like banking and finance, where you have higher requirements regarding auditability. This will be stored automatically, making sure that you have some processes intact there. Now, this was a short overview on a demo. If you would like to get more insights or get more detailed information, I'm inviting you to visit our website on www.truechat.com or www.kpi-chat.com. There you can schedule, for example, meeting. There you can get more information. We're always happy to give you more insights on how you can utilize KPI Chat, either when it comes to digitalizing your P&L and your reporting, or also using other use cases like inventory management, speeding up your sales processes, or getting more insights on marketing data and enriching this marketing data directly where you are within the BI system. So no more creating information silos around your company, around the globe, but keeping track and keeping the data, and also the collaboration around the data and the information around the data directly where it really belongs, stored in a central server, stored in a central Unity, and also being accessible to those who really need it. Now, after taking a look at the demo experience, let me show you a bit of our customer experience, resolving around different companies, different areas, ranging from aircraft, or rather LSG Group, for example, who are a food supplier for lots of aircraft companies, or also automotive. So we are not bound by any area there. We're also in the automotive environment, or also looking at medical testing, or another company that you might know, Siemens, using it for the procurement BI strategy. Now, after taking a look at the story and what TrueChat consists of, what the idea behind it is, how it can help you to solve your visualization and collaboration processes. I'm opening the question and answer section. So I invite you, if you have any question regarding setup, regarding possibilities, Zoom offers the possibility, there should be a Q&A section when you take a look at your at the Zoom window. There's a section where it says Q&A, so feel free to create an answer, and I will be happy to answer on that and comment on that. And for those of you who are either shy or who have questions afterwards, please feel free to contact us, or maybe if you're leaving or if you're planning to leave a bit early, feel free to contact us afterwards. Well, okay, so the first question just popped up. The question is, where does TrueChat and KPI Chat store the relevant information? So the information and all the data basically, so the architecture is you have a running web service that's running within your company. So we're not supplying the service basically. So service as well as database will be installed in your environment. We have two server options. That is one MySQL or MS SQL. For those who either have it already in their environment, or if you're not planning on taking any more subscription fees, you could use MySQL, working both. We also support Java, or you need Java runtime environment, but we also have the possibility to integrate to OpenJDK. So also here, no need for any further subscription fees. What basically happens is you have a central SQL server, as I said, either MySQL or MS SQL, and while accessing our web service, all the data, all the relevant information will be written back to the SQL server and will be accessible by anyone who needs it, or rather, any information there will be accessible to anyone who has access to it. So either coming from TrueChat and KPI Chat perspective, but also it's stored in the background where you can take a look at it. And all data will be stored within your environment. We are highly appreciating data security issues, so we make sure that it's running on premise. But you could always make use of, for example, Azure MS SQL Server. So if you're having a cloud-based environment, you could also write back to that. TrueChat and KPI Chat are also accessible, compatible with those two. Okay. Our security question. So data related. As I can see, the question is how you set up the data security. Basically, this would be too technical for this session here to show you, but it's in the end, it's pretty easy. What you define is you define a role. Let's say, for example, stay in the example, you define the role for the German sales team. The German sales team will only have dimensional access to the value Germany. So only messages and data will be accessible and can be seen and recognized by those who are in this role. You can have, let me add that we have an AD import, so you can import users and also rules from AD. You could also use CSV import, or you could manually create users, but that's not a good option for enterprises. So you could also do that via AD import or CSV import. Basically, what you define is, as I said, you define a rule, sales team Germany. You say, hey, they can only see what's written by the value of Germany, and then they will only have access to that, and add people to the role, or also add user groups. So you're not only able to import users, but also user groups. I hope that answers the question. If not, feel free to ask further or come back to us. Do you plan a deep integration like Qlik with other BI tools? Yes, as I said, we are already, for TrueChat, we can integrate to QlikSense, QlikView, Power BI, Excel, as well as Jedox. With KPI Chat, we started with QlikSense, but as it is compatible with TrueChat, we could also integrate it as a cell type within TrueChat itself. So we already created examples that it integrates with Power BI, for example. using a cell type of true chat? So basically the answer is we're not only planning it, we are already doing it. Any other questions? Now let me check the Q&A section again. I'm sorry I didn't see your question, but I was just looking at the Q&A section. Now, if there are no further questions, then I would conclude this online seminar and wish you a very pleasant rest of the day.